Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm beyond excited to share something truly special, something that blends creativity, engineering imagination, and a deep love for cars. What I've brought to you this time is a 3D cinematic concept that reimagines one of the most beloved hatchbacks on the roads today, the Maruti Suzuki Swift. But not just any Swift. This is the rear-engine Swift concept, a bold redesign that flips expectations on their head while pushing the boundaries of car design imagination. What makes it even more exciting is that this is not my first take on the idea. It's actually an updated and refined version of a concept I worked on earlier, but this time with sharper details, enhanced visuals, and a more complete execution that makes the vision come alive like never before. Now, for those who might not know, the Swift has long been a car of charm and practicality. It's small, sporty, reliable, and instantly recognizable, especially in markets like India where it has achieved an almost cult-like following. Whether you're a student buying your first car, a family looking for a practical ride, or simply someone who enjoys affordable performance, the Swift has been a go-to choice for over a decade. But while the original Swift is a front-engined, front-wheel drive hatchback built for efficiency and everyday use, my concept flips this formula in the most dramatic way possible. By imagining the Swift with its engine at the rear, the entire identity of the car transforms from a compact daily driver to something resembling a mid-engine exotic in disguise. When you think about rear-engined or mid-engined cars, you usually picture brands like Porsche, Ferrari, or Lamborghini, machines designed for maximum performance, agility, and balance. To apply this radical idea to a small hatchback like the Swift is both unconventional and exciting. It's not about creating a car that could realistically roll off the production line tomorrow, but about exploring the what-ifs of car design. What if the Swift were built not just for daily practicality but also for pure driving dynamics? What if its humble exterior concealed the heart of a true sports car? That is the spirit behind this 3D cinematic concept. The updated version of my concept focuses heavily on refining details that bring this fantasy to life. The proportions had to be adjusted because when you move the engine to the back, the car needs different weight distribution, airflow channels, and cooling solutions. You'll notice in the animation that the rear section of the Swift has been widened slightly, giving it a more planted stance. Large vents have been added to the back quarter panels, hinting at the powerful machinery hidden beneath the surface. The rear bumper has also been redesigned to include aggressive diffusers, which not only give it that supercar-inspired look but also suggest aerodynamics engineered for performance. From the front, the Swift retains its familiar charm, but with sharper, sportier touches that align with its new identity. Sleek LED headlights, a more pronounced grille, and aerodynamic lines emphasize speed and agility. It's like seeing an old friend dressed up for a completely new role. You can still tell it's the Swift, but this Swift is ready to take on racetracks, not just city traffic. The cinematic approach I took with this 3D concept was all about making the car feel alive. Using advanced rendering techniques, I wanted to capture the reflections of the environment on its glossy paint, the movement of shadows across its bodywork, and the mechanical depth of its redesigned rear. The animation explores different angles of the car, sweeping shots that showcase the widened stance, close-ups of the detailed lights and vents, and dramatic pans that build suspense before revealing the rear-mounted powerhouse. The result is a short film that doesn't just show a car, but tells the story of a machine reborn. Inside the cabin, I also imagined how a rear-engine Swift would feel for the driver. The weight shift to the back would give it a completely different handling dynamic. This is something drivers of cars like the Porsche 911 know well. A unique driving feel that balances risk and reward with every corner. To highlight this, the interior concept takes on a sportier tone, with bucket seats, minimalist design, and driver-focused instrumentation. Every element hints at performance, even though it's wrapped inside the body of a car known for its accessibility. One of the key aspects I wanted to capture in this updated version was realism. While it's still a concept born from creativity and imagination, I refined the design to make it feel like something that could actually exist in the real world with the right engineering. The vent placement, the stance, the dimensions, all of these were carefully adjusted so that the car doesn't look like a cartoonish exaggeration, but rather a believable prototype that someone might actually build as a one-off. When comparing this updated concept to the earlier version I worked on, the improvements are clear. The previous design had the raw idea but lacked the polish and detail. This new version has a more cohesive vision, smoother surfaces, better lighting effects, and a cinematic quality that makes the car pop off the screen. It feels more dramatic, more alive, and much closer to what I originally envisioned when I first thought about creating a rear-engine Swift. The reaction to this concept has been fascinating to imagine. On one hand, die-hard Swift fans might see it as an exciting reinvention of their favorite hatchback, a chance to view it through an entirely new lens. On the other hand, some might argue that the Swift's charm lies in its simplicity and practicality, and transforming it into a performance machine could be seen as going against its DNA. But that's the beauty of concept design. It sparks conversation, challenges expectations, and invites people to think differently about cars they thought they already knew. From an engineering perspective, a rear-engine Swift would be a radical departure from anything Maruti Suzuki has ever attempted. It would require a completely new platform, reconfigured suspension systems, and advanced cooling and aerodynamics. While such a car might never see mass production, the idea of experimenting with it in concept form allows us to dream about what could be possible. After all, some of the most iconic cars in history started as wild concepts before eventually inspiring real-world innovations. The cinematic movie I've created with this concept isn't just about showing a car, it's about showcasing the potential of creativity when combined with 3D animation and AI-driven tools. These technologies allow independent creators like me to bring bold ideas to life without the need for giant budgets or full-scale prototypes. With the right vision and dedication, we can craft digital machines that look, feel, and move like the real thing, all while telling stories that spark imagination. In many ways, this project is also a love letter to the Swift itself. Few cars have captured hearts across generations the way this little hatchback has. By reimagining it in such a bold and unconventional way, I'm not trying to replace or redefine it, but to celebrate it by exploring its potential in an entirely new dimension. It's about asking the question, what if the everyday could be extraordinary? What if the humble hatchback could hide the soul of a sports car? As the animation plays out, viewers are taken on a journey that starts with recognition and ends with surprise. At first glance, you think you're looking at the familiar Swift you see on the streets every day. But then, as the cinematic shots reveal more details, the vents, the stance, the diffusers, you realize this is something else entirely. By the time the rear-mounted engine bay is revealed, the transformation is complete, and you're left looking at a hatchback that feels like it belongs on the same stage as exotic supercars. This project also speaks to the future of concept design itself. With tools like AI and 3D rendering becoming more advanced and accessible, we're entering an era where car enthusiasts, designers, and creators can all share their visions in ways that were once limited to big manufacturers. The democratization of design means we'll see more bold ideas, more reimaginings, and more crossovers between the ordinary and the extraordinary. The rear-engine Swift is my contribution to that creative wave, and I hope it inspires others to dream bigger and design bolder. As the credits roll on the animation, the message is clear: the Swift we know and love may never look like this in reality, but in the world of imagination, anything is possible. Cars are more than just machines. They are canvases for creativity, symbols of identity, and reflections of the cultures that embrace them. By reimagining them in new and unexpected ways, we not only honor their legacy but also expand their story into uncharted territory. So, whether you're a lifelong Swift fan, a car enthusiast, or simply someone who enjoys seeing bold creative ideas brought to life, this 3D cinematic rear-engine Swift concept is for you. It's not about practicality, production, or profit, it's about passion, imagination, and the joy of pushing boundaries. This updated version of my concept represents countless hours of refining, rendering, and storytelling, all driven by a love for cars and the possibilities of design. And as always, this is just the beginning. With every project, the goal is to improve, to explore new ideas, and to create concepts that surprise and excite. The rear-engine Swift is one such idea, and I'm proud to share it with you in this new cinematic form. I can't wait to hear your thoughts, feedback, and ideas for what I should tackle next. Until then, enjoy the ride, dream big, and remember that the world of cars, just like imagination, has no limits.